KoKo Language Learning, Listening, and Shadowing podcast.
Hello and welcome. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Allie. Welcome to the KoKo Language Learning Podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks. Really excited for today's deep dive. You?
Same here. Feeling good and ready to jump in.
Awesome. So, just a quick reminder, our whole goal here is to help you improve your English skills. We focus a lot on listening and shadowing practice, and these deep dives. They're designed to help you really get a handle on a topic quickly, thoroughly, but, without feeling totally overwhelmed.
Exactly. And hey, if you find this helpful, please do remember to subscribe, like it, maybe share it with a friend.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It really does motivate us, lets us know we're on the right track, and helps us keep creating more content to help you learn English.
Absolutely. So, today's focus, as we mentioned, is boosting your English vocabulary and doing it fast.
A very popular topic.
It really is.
Yeah.
And by the end of this, you'll have a super clear path, a roadmap, really, to building up that word power. We've broken it down into 10 main ways to tackle this, packed with practical tips.
But before we get into those 10 ways, let's quickly touch on 3 words you'll hear us use a bit today, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Good idea.
Okay, first one, extensive. This basically means covering a wide range or being really thorough. So like extensive reading means reading lots of different things, not just one article.
Got it. Makes sense.
Second word, nuance. This is about those small, subtle differences in meaning or feeling. Understanding the nuance of a word helps you use it perfectly, not just, kind of okay.
Like the difference between happy and ecstatic. Similar, but different feelings.
Precisely. And the third word is context. This is basically the situation or the information surrounding a word or idea that helps you understand its real meaning. Learning words in context is, super important, as we'll see.
Okay, extensive, nuance, context. Got it. So let's do that quick summary you mentioned. What's the big picture for today?
All right, here's the 30-second version. Today we're unlocking the secrets to building your English vocabulary quickly and effectively.
You'll find out why having a strong vocabulary is just so crucial, not just for chatting, but for bigger goals, like your career.
And we'll share practical, even fun ways to make those new words actually stick in your brain.
We'll also look at the difference between just, knowing a word versus really using it confidently.
It's all about boosting your confidence and clarity in English. Get ready for maybe a few aha moments.
Okay, love it. Let's unpack this then. First off, why? Why is a strong vocabulary actually so important? It's not just about sounding smart.
Not at all. I mean, think about it. Vocabulary, it's like the actual bricks of language. You can have the best grammar rules, the blueprints, but without words, well, you can't build anything. You can't really communicate.
That's a great way to put it. The bricks.
Yeah, and information often points to little kids, right? They start with just single words, more, mine, up, and they can still get their needs across pretty effectively. It shows how fundamental words are.
Right. So it's not about impressing people. It's more about precision, finding the exact word to see what you mean.
Exactly. It makes your conversations clearer, more accurate. You can express yourself much better. It's like having a whole toolbox instead of just one screwdriver. You get the perfect tool for each specific job.
And that clarity must help with understanding things too, like reading.
Oh, absolutely. Information shows a really direct link. To truly understand what you're reading, you need to know almost all the words. The figure often cited is around 98%.
Wow, 98%. That's high.
It is. If you're constantly stopping and guessing, you lose the flow, you lose the meaning.
And this isn't just for like school or reading books, is it? Does it affect other parts of life?
Definitely. Information also suggests a strong connection between vocabulary size and, well, success. In careers, even in life generally.
Really? How so?
Well, people with bigger vocabularies tend to be better communicators, more persuasive. They can understand complex ideas faster, explain things better. This often translates to, yeah, achieving more, sometimes even earning more.
And I bet it helps with confidence too, like speaking up in a meeting or something.
Huge confidence booster. Knowing you have the words to express yourself clearly makes you much more likely to participate, to share your ideas.
Okay, so it's clearly super important, foundational even. If that's the case, what are the best ways to actually build it? Let's dive into the first big one you mentioned, reading, right?
Yes, reading consistently. This comes up as the number one most effective method. We're talking extensive reading here.
So reading a lot and reading widely.
Exactly. Books, magazines, websites, newspapers cover different topics. The key is reading for general understanding and hopefully enjoyment, not stopping to look up every single unfamiliar word.
Right, just letting it wash over you a bit.
Kind of, yeah.
Right.
When you read extensively, you just naturally absorb new words, you see how phrases are used, pick up idioms. It all happens within a natural context.
Okay, but how much reading are we talking about? Is like 5 minutes enough?
Well, information suggests even 15 minutes a day shows benefits. But the really significant gains, they seem to come with more like just over 30 minutes to an hour each day.
An hour a day? Okay, that's a commitment, but doable.
And it doesn't have to be super difficult stuff all the time. Don't be afraid of challenging material, sure, but make sure it's mostly manageable. You don't want to get frustrated and quit.
Find that sweet spot.
Exactly. And variety. Read different genres, sci-fi, history, news, blogs, whatever interests you. This exposes you to words from all sorts of areas.
And what about really getting into it? Does that help?
Oh, definitely. Immerse yourself. When you're lost in a good story or really fascinated by an article, you want to understand it all. Your brain is naturally more engaged, more open to learning those new words to figure things out.
Okay, so extensive reading is powerful, but just seeing a word isn't always enough for it to stick, right?
Yeah.
How do we make sure we actually remember them?
Great question. This is where we move from just passive exposure to more active learning strategies. And the first one is super practical. Keep a vocabulary journal.
Like a notebook.
Yeah, could be a physical notebook or a digital one. Dedicate a space, maybe a page for each new word you really want to learn.
And what do you put there? Just the word and definition.
Definition, yes, but also maybe synonyms, words that mean something similar, and antonyms, words that mean the opposite. You could even write your own sentence using the word.
Using it yourself.
Right. And then the key is to review it regularly. Maybe glance through it each day or week. You can even group similar words, like you mentioned happy and ecstatic earlier, Or maybe words like beautiful, gorgeous is stunning. Seeing them together helps understand the nuance.
Okay, a journal. That makes sense. What else?
Flashcards. Old school, maybe, but still very effective for active recall.
Word on one side, definition on the other.
Yep. Or definition, maybe a sample sentence, even a little drawing if you're visual. And some information highlights that making your own flashcards is often better than using pre-made ones. The act of creating it helps you learn.
Interesting. So the process matters.
It really seems to, especially for tricky words. Maybe include the word, the translation if needed, an example sentence, and some kind of personal connection or image.
And just review them whenever.
Well, even better is spaced repetition. Don't just cram them all at once. Review them at specific increasing intervals.
How do you manage that?
There are great apps for it, like Quizlet or Anki. They handle the scheduling. This basically tells your brain, hey, this word is important. Move it to long-term memory.
Okay, spaced repetition apps. Got it. Any more, like, fun ways?
Yeah, definitely. Word games. Think crossword puzzles, Scrabble, Bobble, even some word puzzle apps on your phone.
Yeah, I like crosswords. How do they help?
They make you think about words, definitions, spelling, all within a kind of puzzle context. Plus, they can introduce you to words you might not normally encounter. And they help you see word parts, like prefixes and suffixes.
Learning while playing. I like it.
Who doesn't? Another way is through listening. Watching movies and TV shows, listening to podcasts like this one, or audiobooks.
How does listening compare to reading?
It exposes you to vocabulary in a natural spoken context. You hear pronunciation, rhythm, how words are used in actual conversation. Pay attention to the dialogue. Maybe jot down words you don't know.
Subtitles can help there too, I guess.
Yeah, maybe watch with English subtitles first, then try without to challenge yourself. Podcasts are great because they're often conversational, so you hear informal language and phrases used naturally.
Okay, so reading, journaling, flashcards, games, listening. What about actually using the words ourselves?
Crucial step. Practice writing. Writing is fantastic because it gives you time to think. Unlike speaking, where you have to respond quickly, writing lets you pause, search for that perfect word, maybe look it up in a dictionary or thesaurus.
So be intentional about using new words when I write emails or reports.
Exactly. Make a conscious effort to weave in some of the new words you're learning. Even just editing your own writing with an eye for vocabulary can help solidify those words in your mind, moving them from just known to actually used.
Okay, lots of active methods there.
Yeah.
What about understanding words on a deeper level, like the structure of words?
Yes. This is where things get really interesting, looking beyond just memorizing. Two key tools here, the dictionary and the thesaurus.
Obvious, maybe, but important.
Absolutely essential. And don't just use them once, make it a habit. A good dictionary doesn't just give you the definition. It might show you the word's origin, related words, maybe common phrases that's used in its collocations.
And the thesaurus.
That gives you synonyms and antonyms. It helps you see the subtle differences, the nuance between similar words. Helps you choose the most precise word for what you want to say.
Right, not just good, but excellent, superb, adequate.
Exactly. And building on that dictionary work is understanding word parts. So many English words come from Greek and Latin roots.
Like tele for far or port for carry.
Precisely. And then you have prefixes at the beginning like un or and suffixes at the end like able or leg. Learning common ones can help you make educated guesses about new words.
So if I see auditorium, and I know odd means here,
You can guess it's a place for hearing things. It's like having a secret code. And related to this is using context clues.
we mentioned contest earlier. How does that work for guessing words?
It means using the words around the unfamiliar word as hints. There are different types, like maybe the sentence gives a definition or an example or contrasts it with something else.
Like, he was affable, always friendly, and easy to talk to.
Perfect example. The rest of the sentence basically defines affable for you. Always ask yourself, what hints are the other words giving me? Be a word detective.
Word detective, I like that. Okay, now you mentioned something about how our brains learn and avoiding mistakes. This sounds important.
Yeah, this comes from some really interesting cognitive science insights. Basically, not all learning methods are created equal for memory. Just repeating a word over and over or matching it to a picture that's called shallow processing.
And shallow isn't good.
It doesn't stick well long term. You need deep processing. That means doing something more meaningful with the word,
Like what?
like solving a problem, using the word, connecting it to your own experiences or knowledge, really focusing on its meaning and how it's used, maybe sorting words into categories or making up a story using several new words.
Engaging with it more actively.
Exactly. It forces your brain to build stronger connections. And this ties back again to context. Learning words as just isolated items on a list, not very effective.
Because you don't know how to use them.
Right. You need to see them in action. As one piece of information put it, you shall know a word by the company it keeps. Learn it in a phrase or sentence.
Okay, deep processing context.
Oh.
What about memory tricks?
Mnemonic devices.
Yeah.
These can be incredibly helpful. They're basically memory aids.
Like rhymes.
Could be rhymes or acronyms or complex things. One fascinating one is the memory palace. You imagine a place you know well, like your house, and mentally place the new words and their meanings in different rooms or locations.
Wow, really? Does that work?
Apparently, yes. Another is the keyword method. You link the sound of the new word to a word you already know, and then create a mental image connecting them.
Can you give an example?
Sure, let's say you want to remember the Spanish word carta, means letter. Carta sounds a bit like cart. So you could imagine a shopping cart full of letters being delivered. That visual link helps lock it in.
That's clever. And these actually help.
Information suggests they can boost retention quite a bit, maybe around 9%, for new vocabulary learned using them. It's about creating those extra hooks for your memory.
Okay, what else helps things stick?
Active recall, we mentioned it with flashcards, but it's broader. Self-testing. Instead of just rereading definitions, try to retrieve the meaning from your memory. Cover the definition, ask yourself what it means.
Force your brain to work.
Exactly. And don't forget pronunciation. Saying words aloud, hearing them, it engages auditory memory, which is strongly linked to overall recall. Practice how they sound.
Okay, this is all great. We've got reading, active methods, understanding word parts, deeper processing, mnemonics. What's the last piece? You said 10 ways.
The 10th one might sound obvious, but it's maybe the most crucial for long-term fluency. Practice, practice, practice. Specifically, moving words from your passive vocabulary to your active vocabulary.
Ah, right. Passive is words you understand. Active is words you use.
Precisely. Your passive vocabulary is usually way, way bigger. You recognize tons of words when you read or hear them, but actually pulling them out and using them confidently when you speak or write, that's the active vocabulary.
And that's the goal, right? To be able to use the word.
That's the goal. So you have to deliberately create opportunities to use your new words. It won't happen automatically.
How can you do that? Put yourself in situations.
Yeah. Join a conversation group or a book club. Talk to native speakers if you can. Even just consciously try to slip a new word into an email or when you're talking to a friend. Or honestly, even just narrate your day to yourself in English, trying to use those words.
Low stakes practice.
Exactly. It takes consistent, deliberate effort over time. But that's what truly builds a strong, usable vocabulary and genuine confidence.
Wow. Okay. So that's a lot of ground we've covered. 10 main ways, tons of tips.
From extensive reading all the way to memory palaces and just plain old practice.
So wrapping this up, what's the main takeaway for someone listening?
I think it's that building your vocabulary is totally achievable. You have so many tools, so many strategies you can try. Find what works for you.
And it's not just about knowing lists of words.
No, not at all. It's about discovery. It's a journey. And the great news from all the information is that you can improve at any stage. It's never too late to start expanding your word power.
The real goal is being able to use those words effectively, competently, accurately, to express yourself fully.
Right. To really communicate the nuance of what you're thinking and feeling.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah, how about this? Think of every new word you learn as adding a new color to your painter's palette, a whole new shade you can use.
Ooh, I like that analogy.
So the question is, as you go about your week, how are you going to use those new colors? How will you choose to paint your conversations, your writing, your ideas, now that you have a richer palette?
That's a lovely thought. How will you paint your world with words? Well, we really hope this deep dive has given you some clear, practical steps you can take right away to boost your English vocabulary. Keep practicing. Keep exploring words.
And try to enjoy the process. Learning should be rewarding. Thank you so much for joining us on the KoKo Language Learning Podcast.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive. Keep learning.
Bye for now.
See you next time.